about the hoop. That's another very interesting.
Oh yeah, the one. I have one over there. Okay. Oh, sorry. I normally practice. This is a little bit too big for me. No, I've got a steel one in the house that I usually train with, but I like to play with it when I'm watching TV. So normally the hoop should be actually the length of your forearm. It's the same dimensions as your knife. So where this goes in here to here, that should be where your hoop is. And there are two ideas around this. One of the ideas is the wrapping of the ligaments of the wrist, the elbow, and the loosening of the shoulder to develop kind of connective power in the arm. We have this idea of the hand being able to kind of become connected to the body. One hand becomes connected to the body so that the body is adjusting, and then the other hand is free to hit. And the ability to switch very rapidly between those is a big deal in Wing Chun. So it's not that the hand is just hanging in the air. It has to have this dynamic that's going through to adjust your structure while the other one is free. So we've got two positions. We have this one, which if your hand is in this position, the technique is, for us, in our school, other schools are different, is predominantly for ligament training. So you have this idea of learning to wrap the ligaments of the forearm round, stretch here, wrap here, stretch, and so on and so forth. So I'm learning to rock that as it goes through. And the nature of the hoop means that I keep a balance.
And there's always a slight pressure, obviously, to stop the hoop falling off.
When you're in this position, there's always an outward pressure. Okay, so a lot of Wing Chun guys say, well, that can't be right because Wing Chun goes in. Well, that's not true. Wing Chun simply balances.
Yes.
Right. So that's why you end up. That's why you end up with a lot of guys doing this, which is fine, but we don't do Wing Chun like that. Our Wing Chun elbow position is completely natural. Yeah, it just hangs at the side of the body, and you move completely naturally.
In fact, you cannot have one without the other. It doesn't make
I don't think so. I don't think so. But people will, if you do a lot of Chi Sao, and you view that as the main area of testing, and also if you're sparring with somebody, and you're sparring with partners, you can make shapes of your body that make it awkward for people to deliver X amount of techniques within the rules of sparring. Just like you can, I don't know, you have the rules on the ground. Of course, ground fighters can deal with eye gouges, biting, all that thing that they, yeah. But generally speaking, it's considered bad form to do that in training because it's outside the parameter of the context in which the thing is being applied. So it's the same in Wing Chun, where you get people who do a lot of kind of sparring and they're doing kind of kickbox-esque type sparring. Then sure, you can make a very tight hand position and you make a little shell in your body, and it does make it awkward for people to hit you. But you're limited to that expression. It's not a free expressing movement, in my opinion. So when we do Wing Chun, our body should be as natural as possible. The golden rule is no strain. Yeah, no effort beyond the natural dynamic that the body has to have an active limbs. Yeah. Okay, so the second position of the hoop is this cross position, and this is actually quite clever in that you now have multiple vectors. Force goes forward, but as I press my hands forward, this hand is pushing out, but to control it, my wrist has to press in. This hand is pressing forward, so I've got my hand, back of my hand pressing out, but my forearm is pressing in. So now I've got balance. I've got that dynamic pressure between the arms. Because if I don't, the hoop does fall away from me. So there are only really two ways in which you turn the body then, turn the hands. You can either turn them this way, or you're going to turn them this way. And all motions then are going to be built off of those two rolling actions. And the important thing here, of course, is that I have one hand which is spiraling. Remember I said about the dummy transferring force? So that hand is spiraling and it's going across my back to the front hand. So this is teaching me how to absorb and redirect as it comes through. And likewise when I do this one, so that's one polarized position. When I change the polarized position, I'm now sending the force around the other way and the hands are changing. So I've only got this position, and a neutral position. So we say in Wing Chun that there are three poison hands, which is basically Tan Sao, Bong Sao, Fuk Sao, which is neutral, and there is no other position. And all they're doing is teaching me how to transfer force through my frame.
Excellent.
Does that make sense?
Very clear.
Okay.
Yes, excellent. Thank you very much.
Good stuff, no problems.
So that was a little brief interview with Mike Kaniewski, who's up here in Swansea, and anybody who's interested in traditional Wing Chun would really do themselves a favour by coming up here, meeting Mike. He's very friendly. He's got incredibly deep understanding of this system. So, yeah, that's today's interview with Mike, and thanks for joining the Flying Monk, and we'll see you next time. Bye.